What's up everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here on the PokerStaples channel. If you checked out the last video, if you haven't, you should do that now. We got into the 5K, you guys. So this is a $5,000 buy-in tournament on Party Poker. I've only played one other 5K. No, two other 5Ks in my life online. Those were both W Coop main events. So this was a pretty big opportunity for me. Fantastic tournament. I think you guys are going to like it. Without further ado, enjoy the video. We're in action. 3-6 off, a fold onto the gun. I gotta change the title after the sweat's over. Gotta send out some hype on the social media. The big game, chat.
5K.
5K, the big game. Yep. We need to put this in gold, by the way. We need to put it in the gold because it's the big game, dude. It's a 5K. We pick up a nice hand. The pocket tens, chat. Oh, I love tens. Tens are beautiful. Let's raise, and a hand we can call 3 bets with as well. If a 3-bet comes in, unless it's a crazy weird size or something. But not a hand we want to get all in pre-flop yet. There's too many chips in our stack compared to what's out there in blinds and antes. Pulls around to Requiem. You check back. I think it's close between a bet and a check with the 10s on the 7-7 fort. We've seen Requiem be fairly aggressive. Increase the check raise frequency on the flop. Give us a really tough time on turns of rivers. But then there's the flip side of like Jack, Queen, King, Ace all aren't great cards for us on turns and rivers. They check, and I'm going to go for a bet now. I mean, some percentage of the time they might go for a double check with a 7, but I'm assuming most 7s are going to just want to start betting turn and river to try and get value from ace highs as opposed to only getting one street. So I think it's kind of unlikely that they have a 7. They call 3 on the river. Bet 45K. See if we get a call. Jamma1212 dropped the 22 months. Thank you, Jamma. All right, we take it out. And it's a fold back up to about $1 million. We're going to fold queen 3 suited under the gun as the blinds go up. Going to raise up to 35K. Polo going for a 2.5x size. I like 3 betting here. Make it about 140, which is 4x this open. We could call the a7 suited to the small blind as well, but it doesn't play great post flop. So I'm just going to go for 3-bet, especially with the 2.5x sizing that they're choosing. Gives us a little bit better incentive. See if it works out. Long thinking a call. We have an ace-5-4 flop. I think we should bet flop here. Even though we don't mind controlling the size of the pot, at the same time, we have such a strong range advantage. I think we're going to want to bet all of our bluffs. We should just bet 100% here on this board. So much better board for us than Polo. They shove over the top. I think it would be a fine fold in that there's just not very many draws here. 6-7, 6-8, 7-8, of which they're not going to have many of those. Polo calls, and we'll check on the turn. Kind of a tough turn here because we pick up a gut shot to go along with our pair of aces. So let's say they have a better kicker ace. We have a few more outs at our disposal. We're also not worried about a 2 at all. Let's check, check. 9 on the river. We will check again. And a bet of 400,000. Pretty tough spot here, honestly. Doesn't represent a ton of hands, although ace-king and ace-queen. Ace-king's going to 4-bet pre. So really they're representing, I guess, ace-queen and ace-jack and ace-9 suited, of which there's not very many combos. But then there's the other side as well, which is like, there's not very many floats on the flop either on the ace-5-4. Guess it's technically possible to have a few sets, 9s, and maybe like 1 and 3 sets of 5s, 4s, and 3s. So it's a really tough spot here with a7, just because of how dry the board is in a 3-bet pot. Going for a big sizing too. It's tough, man. I don't know. It's really close. I think they 4-bet ace-king every time, so I'm not worried about that. It's just like, do they have the ace-queen, ace-jack? I guess they're going to be peeling ace-queen, ace-jack offsuit, in which case we check twice. But dude, they're not betting 400K with ace-queen, ace-jack. Very tough. I don't really know what to do. Use my whole time bank there. I really don't know. I really don't know what to do in this spot. I think it's interesting because of the sizing they choose. It's just it's a fairly polarized size, but then it's also a fairly dry flop as well. If I could go back in time, I think I'd call now. I don't know. It's really hard because we did bet about 1/3 pot as well. Raise it up to 42,000. Why don't we hit this flop? Like starting with a check call. Don't see much need to bet. We have a lot of showdown value with our ace high. We're happy with pretty much all the turns with our ace of spades. We'll just check. We'll check again on the turn. 10 on the river. It's the quick check, which is interesting. I expect them to bet 9-10 and 9-7 on flop return, so I'm not too worried about that. Ace-10 makes some sense. Expect them to bet a 6 on the turn. Expect them to bet an 8 on the turn. Yeah, I think we have to call here. 10-9. Very surprised 10-9 doesn't bet. Honestly, I'm pretty okay with my call because, like, if you think about it, we check flop, they check. We check turn. It's just such a prime spot to bluff. Like, 10 high is not going to win. We check twice. We really cap our range. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to see very many 10s there. I think we have to call down with ace-queen, but unfortunately, they do have 10-9. So I wouldn't have expected to check turn. I think we'll see, like, king-10, ace-10 most commonly. Over the jacks, get a call on the button and the call in the big blind. This is a really annoying spot, given our stack in the board. Board is not very good for jacks, obviously. It's a bad spot to c-bet, too. We don't want to inflate the pot here. Want to control the size of the pot. Just very frustrating, though, with the underpair to the king. Because we have to play it passively and, like, play a guessing game based on what we think their ranges are. We check again on the turn here. We're only protecting from, like, a queen and an ace. Don't get me wrong, 9 and 8 are not the best cards, but we should feel okay. And we see Never Scared 4 bet 55-9 here. I feel okay calling, for sure. It's a bad river because I think they actually value bet some 10x on the turn, but it goes check check very quickly, which we beat a7. All right, cool. Open ace jack. Against small blind, it's pretty close as to whether we call a jam or not. Get a flat from Never Scared 4 on the button. This is very interesting here with the ace jack. We have the ace of spades, so a good backdoor. We also have a double gutter. Never Squared 4 bets 84-5. So we have a couple of options here. We can just call here and see a lot of turns, but also we have a stronger range than Never Scared 4, and they're flatting a very wide range on the button. So I kind of like doing this instead. Basically just check shoving. Not actually, but basically check shoving. Because we have a stronger range, we can take advantage of how wide they're flatting, and if we have to get it in, so be it. But I'll check raise here, taking advantage of the wide range and a strong range to check raise. Nice. That's the adjustment, right? Because Never Scared 4 is peeling our buttons and, like, in position on us a lot. Which means they're going to have too many hands post-flop, which means it's going to be weaker than they probably should be post-flop, trying to take advantage of what they perceive to be us playing passive out of position and, like, them being able to pick up chips. So the adjustment is check to them, allow them to play too aggressively with their too wide of a range, have too many bluffs, and put in check raises and capitalize. And that was just a perfect spot because we had the double gutter, right? Never Scared for 3 bets, to 4 bet, or to call. I think call. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not worried about our kings, but the problem is, like, we just don't have a 4-bet bluffing range. So we need to call to earn any money. Hitting top set is a pretty decent start. We'll check. We have 215,000. Again, I think we just call here. We block them having all the good hands, except for, like, aces, but we should get all the money from aces anyways. We'll call flop. Turn is a 9. Question is, if it goes check, check, do we bet the river ourselves or check? Doesn't matter against aces. Let's go check. Come on. 2 million chips in the 5K. That's a massive pot. They had aces too. Oh, we were so close to getting in that pre. I mean, don't get me wrong. On different runouts, like, we're not folding, obviously. That's just a sick cooler. I do think we played it in the best way, but, like, no one's getting away from anything there. The good news is we've doubled up in a massive tournament. And we limp with ace-9, planning to call a raise. Unless it's, like, 5.5x or something. But it's 3.5x, so we'll call. Ace-king-queen flop. Good flop for our hand. I mean, we have a top pair of aces. We do have the thing to contend with that our range is not as strong as theirs. Going to check again on the turn here. I think it's going to be difficult to get 2 streets of value from a king or a queen. So I like checking, allowing them to bluff with some of their hands they might have raised pre-flop that don't hit this board, instead of betting ourselves, because we basically would be targeting a king or a queen. Check on the river. We have aces full of kings. And take it down against deuce 4. There you go. Got the max against that hand. Ace king. Oh, we're running hot, man. Getting our chips back after the failed bluffs. There's an all-in shove. And I'm going to reshove. Here we go, chat. Big moment. Cross your fingers, chat. Against ace-10. Oh, we suck at flips. We suck at winning all-ins, man. Still alive. That's the good news. We lost a hand and we're still alive. Pocket jack. jacks. Is this amazing or not amazing? It will depend on the action, chat. Against heads up ace, it's a shove. Against Mondler, it's a shove. Against just one canard, it's a shove. Against Fumentatro, it's a shove. Against Polo, it's a 3-bet call at this point. The only way we can get away with this hand is if it goes like shove, reshove, call. Then we can fold. Or if it goes like shove, reshove, we still call. This is big, chat. This is huge. Oh my god, here we go. Hold, jacks. Against King 10, hold. That's a set. Hold it. Let's go, man. Massive pot coming our way. Peeking in chips. We're up to 2.6 million. We're back. We're back, chat. Oh, come on, man. Let's go. Ace Queen offsuit here. Pretty good hand to start. Mondler, we'd be happy to get it all in against Mondler, who has 15 big blinds to start. But they fold, so we're going to raise it up. And we're not going to be folding to a 3-bet against either opponent. Against Volzok, the standard, I think, is just going to be to call a 3-bet, given they have 36 big blinds. Against heads up ace, it'd be a 4-bet, because they have 25.5. Not that that's going to happen often. Most of the time, we're going to see a call here. Sometimes we're going to see a fold here. So they call Jack 6 deuce, very dry flop. I think it's a good idea to check back ace queen here. Doesn't accomplish too much by betting. We get protection, but at the same time, it's just like we open ourselves up to getting check raised, and we really narrow their range down quite a bit. I don't think the protection is worth the cost with ace queen. They bet 85k on the turn. We'll call. 4 on the river. Not the best river. 5-4, 4-3, 5-3 suited are all hands that have draws and have an easy bet on the turn here. We still have a pretty strong hand, all things considered, but it's not a turn they're going to bluff very often at all. At least they shouldn't, you know? It's like our hand looks like what it is. They bet 1/4 on the turn. It's just like pretty face up. Check, check. All right, a6. Whoa, we got jacks. It's a big hand, chat. We're all in against this player, against this player, against this player, against Coney, against Mondler. Polo's the only one that's super annoying because if they 3-bet out of the big blind, it's like generally pretty strong. Might flat against the big blinds, but Mondler calls. A squeeze wouldn't be a flat. If they squeeze, we definitely want to go for a jam. Mondler just calls here, which is interesting. I mean, there could be some slow play better hands, but not often. You see an ace-jack 6 flop, which is just so beautiful, chat. It's so beautiful, and the reason is we have second set, but it allows them to have ace-queen, ace-10, ace-x suited, which they're going to have a lot, and we're going to get money from. This is amazing, but they fold. Ugh! Dang it! All right, folds to us, so let's click it open. Folds around to Coney. Very quickly, everyone had the auto fold on. That's good. We love just fading them having big hands. Coney calls. It's a 10-8-7 flop. I like checking back. We do really poorly against check raises. We can call almost all turns. Check back, which is a 4. All right. So it gets a bet here. It's a decent float because we're going to be able to bluff some rivers. We have a 9 out, which is 4 outs clean, as well as a jack and a queen are going to be out sometimes as well. So let's call turn. 6. You just interact with this board more than I do. All right, they bet big. We'll fold. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to bluff or not if they check to us. 5-6 suited. I like calling raises here with this hand. It's pretty decent. It's not really good enough to reshove all in, but to call raises, absolutely. Unless you go crazy big. But they limp. Let's check. Let's hit it. Bam! Queen Jack 6. Okay, we flop bottom pair. Probably the best hand for now, but it's going to be difficult to play on turns or rivers. They check. Happy to check here. Queen of Hearts is... The question is, do we bet turn or not? I think we do. We can get calls from the Ace of Hearts, from the King of Hearts. We could definitely want to check turn both of those, which is pretty good. I think some percentage of the time a Jack is going to lead turn as well. So we're owning ourselves against a better 6, like a high kicker 6, like an A6 or a King 6. But against the rest, I think our bet is going to get called by enough worse hands that we make more money doing that than just checking. Guys, Queens is a huge hand. This could be the start to the comeback. The plan is to move all in. We don't min-raise any bluffs this short. We just move all in or fold. So we're going to shove at the queens. We would like a call, please. Someone call. RDC RSN. RDC RSN. Please find a call. All right. I really thought that was maybe our moment, but it's all right. It's cool. Ace queen suited. This could be our baby. This could be our moment, chat. Come on. This is it. Everyone cross your fingers. What? A walk! Vinny, no, don't walk us, Vinny, please, man. Oh, my God. Vinny. That's unacceptable. Come on, queens. Ugh, come on. Finally, it's our time with queens, right? Oh, we get an open from Astra Incogniti. Cross your fingers, chat. Come on. Cross your fingers. Oh, this is it. So much money. This is our moment. This is our time. Pump Sturch. Astra should call quite a bit here. It's only an 11 big blind shove. Hold. Just doesn't seem like a just finish to the day, does it? It just doesn't feel like that was the end of our story today, you know? I mean, we've run well to get here, obviously, but we've run pretty bad at the few 5Ks I've played online, man. They hurt, man. Just such a big swing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Close calls, man. I mean, fell a little bit short there, kind of soul-crushing to not get the cash or not get the deep run, but it was a fantastic experience, and I learned a lot doing it. As I mentioned at the end of the video yesterday, we have 3 strategy videos coming up with Ben CB breaking down every hand in the tournament, what he thinks I did right, what he thinks I did wrong, and some really interesting discussions. So if you guys are looking forward to that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell as a bonus, and those will be coming up very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.